Shri Guru Ganadaso Nanadatta Karanayaka Sindhu Vrindavana Sinavatar Prasida Siddhara Pranaya Prachara Ajana Lambito Bhujo Kanakavarirato Sankirtanaika Pitaro Kamlaya Kaksho Vishwambaro Dvijoyo Yudhidama Paro Bandeji Atpriya Karo Karana Avataro Anandalilamaya Vigraya Hemandu Vacha Vishwandaraya Tasmai Mahaprem Rashparaya Shri Chaitanya Chandraya Namaste Kasturi Tilakam Lalatapatale Raksanan Kostavan Sagare Varvatikam Kalatare Vegakarakam Kanam Sava Anga Harichandanam Sagaritam Kantam Muktavari Rajastyo Parivestito Vijayate Gopala Chudamani He Shisham Sundara Shikara Shekara Smirahasmeli Manohara Radhika Rasika Mama Pipanari Sapriya Charana Kinkarim Kuru Tavai Vasni Ajivani Kayavina Iti Vikyaya Raditvam Naimam Charanantikam Yat Kinkireshu Vasa Kaluka Kavani Nityapadashu Purusha Shashakandamuri Tashakadara Samiri Visavamajas Takeli Kunja Bhavanangana Mahajanishana Radhani Radha Ravinda Netram Smarani Radha Madhura Smitasham Vadhami Radha Karuna Bharajam Tato Manushti Gati Nakapi Pakita Vahina Yaparagalaksham Shiptastika Marita Namaje Vipamai Tvam Sharanam Prapanam Vrindi Namaste Charanarvindam Kanaka Jaladagatro Nilasovagya Netro Mrigamara Bharavaro Marati Kundavaro Taruna Vesho Nilapitambaresho Smarani Nivritani Kunje Harika Krishna Chandro Vancha Kalpatrubhisha Kripashindu Vayevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura-Bhakta-vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Shri Nrsingah Jaya Nrsingah Jaya Jaya Nrsingah Praladasa Jaya Padma Mukha Padma Brahma. So today's auspicious day is Shri Nrsingah Caturdasi, and Srila Gurudev on this day would always have devotees to discuss the glories of Shri Nrsingah and Prahlad. This wasn't only the request about Srila Gurudev, but Srila Bhakti-Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, even on the banks of Radhakund, used to discuss the glory of Nrsingah and Prahlad. Also, Gadadhar Pandit, directly Radhika herself, at Tota Gopinath, would give Srimad Bhagavatam Katha to Mahaprabhu's associates on Nrsingah and Prahlad. So we shouldn't think that this Nrsingah and Prahlad is a Vaikuntha opulence lila. This lila in Srimad Bhagavatam is meant to catch praying. Understand? The very first verse of Srimad Bhagavatam, Janmadhyasya, the last verse of Srimad Bhagavatam, Nama Sankirtanyasa, all deal with praying. The first verse deals with the exclusivity of praying. Whole Srimad Bhagavatam is talking about praying. The last verse talks about the Odhoja Lila of Mahaprabhu and the coming of praying in the form of the Odhoja Lila. Everything in Srimad Bhagavatam is praying. So the Vastu Nideshtatmaka verse, which verse is that? Vastu Nideshtatmaka verse. One verse is called Namaskaratmaka verse. First verse. Second verse is called Vastu Nideshtatmaka verse. It defines what is Srimad Bhagavatam. So Dharma Prochita Kaita Putra Paramamani Matsaranam Satam. Because Srimad Bhagavatam is only dealing with praying, then all other things which are not related to praying are considered Kaitava Dharma. Kaitava Dharma is an oxymoron. You can't have Dharma and cheating. So it's an oxymoron. But here the point being that Bhagavatam is stating it's exclusive. Other Purans, Itihas, Ved, they may contain many other things related to Dharma, Artha, Kam, and even Moksha. But Srimad Bhagavatam is exclusively dedicated to praying, from first verse to last verse. First verse is also called Upakrama, last verse is called Upasamhara. Everything in between the first verse and the last verse is called abhyas. Abhyas means that thing which connects one to the other. Understand? So the whole thread of Srimad Bhagavatam is praying. The whole purpose of Nrsingah and Prahlad Charit, there's so much upakya. Upakya means teachings in everywhere in Srimad Bhagavatam. But the purpose, particularly for those on the path of bhakti, particularly those on the path of Rag Mag, is if you cannot catch prem in this lila, how you'll understand prem in Ras Panchajat. If you don't catch prem here, how will you catch it in Ras Panchajat? You understand? That's why the acharyas are always so heavily criticized jumping over the first 9 cantos, because all of the different charits are speaking about prem, how to obtain it, what it is, different manifestations of it. So if you skip all of that, how you'll understand the highest kind of prem, Adi Ras, what to speak of Mananakya Mahabharata. Understand? So this is a prem lila, actually. And you should understand, in Laghu Bhagavatamrita, Rupa Goswami Pad is written, Nrsingah Rama Krishneshu Sat Aishwarya Purna, that Nrsingah Dev, especially Sri Ramchandra Bhagavan and Krishna, they're called Paravastavata. They are the actual pinnacle of what it means to be Bhagavan. That means all the 6 opulences there in full. So what does that mean for other forms of Bhagavan? Varaha, Kurma, they don't have 6 opulences? They do. But actually I heard the definition once, like if you have a dimmer switch. You understand? The potentiality of all 6 opulences are there. But where you'll set the dimmer makes the manifestation of that illumination. In the same way, the fullness of the illumination, top of the switch, is Nrsingah, Ramachandra, and Shri Krishna. But then another question comes about. If that's the case, therefore Nrsingah Dev, Sri Ramachandra, and Shri Krishna must be the same. So no. Jiva Goswami also made distinction. Bhagavat Tavat Asadharana. Krishna's Asadharana. What Asadharana means uncommon. In the category of Bhagavan, even Paravastavata Bhagavan, Krishna's Asadharana. Why? Aishwarya Madhurya Tattva Visesham Paramananda. Because Krishna in his Swarup is the fullness of Paramananda, which means the fullness of Aladini Shakti. Also, in Krishna's Leela, the complete reconciliation of Aishwarya and Madhurya is made possible. You understand? Is lifting Govardhan Hill Aishwarya Leela? Yeah. Huh? Any 7-year-old boys you know can lift the hill? You understand? You understand? What about showing the universe in the mouth to Mother Yashoda? Yes. Swallowing a forest fire, killing a snake. Actually, in Bhagavad Gita, it's very funny. It's written that after Krishna killed Aghasura, and all the cowherd boys came out, they all took rocks and stones and they started beating the dead body of Aghasura. I bet you won't do that there. Yeah, try that. The body's already dead. You understand? Anyway, so very sweet pastime. But it's not Aishwarya, it is Aishwarya. But the prem of the Braj Ghosh, the residents of Vrindavan, is so thick with Madhurya, it covers the opulence. You understand? But it is more opulent than Vaikuntha actually. Shri Brajdam more opulent than Vaikuntha. But the Braj mood, like we're singing, Iti Swadilabhi Randandukunde Swa Gosham Nimanjanta. So this means they are forcibly pushed into a position where they've been drowned in their prem. You understand? So they're drowned in that prem, and therefore that prem is so thick and it's almost by force of the nature of the prem that it covers all Aishwarya. So even when Mother Yashoda saw the entire universe in the mouth of Krishna, including herself, right? It mentions there, Hari Shakti Aishwarya, this is Krishna Chandravati Thakur. Hari Shakti Aishwarya, Pariksha. The Hari Shakti, Bhagavan Shakti in Aishwarya came to do Pariksha to Mother Yashoda. But Dasi Prit Bhagat. But she made that event a servant of her prem. How? She thought, oh, something must have happened. Maybe somebody gave him an evil eye or something. So then she called for all the priests. And so for the next hours, Krishna was being bathed in all the cow urine, this thing, that. You understand? That wasn't his intention. You understand? He had a different idea. But Mother Yashoda's praying, because Vatsalya praying has the elements, Palan Polsan, Tanda Bhartsan, and Sanka Amangala. So Tanda Bhartsan means punish. So she thought, oh, I don't know what happened here, but Palan and Polsan have to protect my child. And Sanka Amangala means always fearing something inauspicious may have happened. So for this, she took motherly duties. Oh, I'm going to drown him with all the panchagavya, all the elements of the cow. You understand? means savor. Bhakti means savor. Devotion is the mood in which you serve, but the word means savor. So he said, because he was born, if you reach him about time, he was appeared from the best of Brahma's contemplation, which was in bhakti. This is after Brahma's anger that the original sons would not produce, that the four Kumars would not produce. Right after giving up all the subtle bodies, then he produced Nod from his heart. And Nod was imbued with the personification of bhakti. So then, he told, because this Nod has bhakti for Narayan, therefore his bliss is very high class. So four Kumars asked, oh, please tell us about the glory and Mahima of Narayan. So then Brahmaji began to speak the Harikatha of Lord Narayan and Vaikuntha Seva. And what is the glory of Vaikuntha Vasis? At that point, the four Kumaras gradually, their Brahmavad was being broken. And the Utkant, the desire, deep desire to have the darshan of Narayan into their hearts. Immediately upon the conclusion of Sri Brahmaji's Harikatha, they immediately went without stop to go to this place Vaikuntha that they had spoken about. For most people that would be very difficult. But because they had become perfect in yoga, tapasya, jnana, and vairagya, and now they had utkanta, greed for bhakti, then they were already qualified persons. Therefore they passed through the first 6 gates leading to Vaikuntha. These 6 gates have been described differently. Some describe them as the chakras within the body. Some describe it as Kam, Krodh, Lobh, Moha, Mada, Matsarya. It has to be conquered. So very different descriptions are given by different acharyas, different times. But they passed through those first 6 gates very easily. But then they came to the 7th gate, which was the doorway to Vaikuntha. And there they saw the 2 of the most beautiful persons. What they heard from Brahmaji about the description of Narayan, they thought, they look exactly like the description we heard from Sri Brahmaji. But then they did close investigation. First of all, there can't be 2 Narayans. That's first thing. Secondly, after close examination, what didn't they see? They were looking. What else? Shrivats. They looked closely to the chest. And they did not see the mark of Shrivats. They knew, oh, not Narayan. So then they approached the gates, palms folded. And they began to try to enter the 7th gate. Because they took it axiomatically, we have a pass. We've passed through 6 gates already. So our gate passes from the previous gates must be good to try to pass. But, Sri Jai and Vijay, they put their clubs down. No. First of all, the dress code here is different. That's the initial problem, is the dress code. So, but anyway, they said, no. Hold. It is not that easy to enter Vaikuntha. Even a person may have become accomplished in all yoga, jnana, vairagya, tapasya, everything. But what is the qualification needed to enter here? What qualification is needed? Bhakti. Yes, bhakti, praying. That's the one. So you're not automatically qualified to enter here. And therefore we have some doubt. So the 4 Kumaras, they couldn't understand. Because they thought, listen, anyone who shows the kind of eagerness that we're expressing, this kind of utkanta, how could it be manifest if there was no bhakti? You understand? So in their thing, they're thinking, listen, having heard this Harikatha from Brahma, the love for this kind of darshan of Narayan was there. But then again, in the mind of 2 gatekeepers, they came. Listen, is just desiring the darshan of Bhagavan, is that bhakti? You understand? So back and forth, these are all things mentioned by commentators, some in South India, right? This is the dichotomy going back and forth. You understand? Who's inspiring this whole dichotomy to go on? He's authorizing, but the Nila Shakti. Understand? Nila Shakti, like Yogamaya. In Vaikuntha, who's the Yogamaya potency? If you go to any temple in South India, you see 3 forms of Shakti. Sri, Bhu, and Nila or Lila Shakti. So Lila Shakti is providing this whole arrangement. So they're going back and forth, yes. But just taking darshan and Narayan doesn't mean seva, doesn't mean you're bhakti. Then they're thinking, oh, but who are you to try to assess what is our level of desire? You understand? Are you yourself Bhagavan? Oh, we've heard about many imposters who imitated Bhagavan, like Kondraka, others. So we can't assess that also you may even not be genuine. So now it rises to a level where now there's doubt on both sides. So it says, listen, because you are taking the side of having so much doubt. First of all, if you're truly a servant of Narayan, why would it not be that you could automatically understand the hearts of others who are coming to enter this Vaikuntha? You understand? So now we have doubts about your identity. Are you truly the Dwarpaliks of this Vaikuntha Dharma? So therefore we think maybe you're not. And if you're an imposter, our first service is to get rid of you. Understand? This is how we'll serve Narayan first. So we're giving you a curse. That because you've taken the mentality of distinguishing this person from that person, who's this, who's that, these are all the mentalities that you find among the materialists. Those who have a hankara. And they're identifying from one hankara to another because they can't see the soul. Therefore they discriminate. Why do people discriminate in this world? On the basis of the subtle and gross body. What kind of mind you have, what kind of body you have. They can't discriminate on the Atma, they don't know what is an Atma. So they say maybe imposters you are. So therefore they pronounce this curse. As soon as they pronounce this curse, realizing the potency present in Chatusini, then the Jai and Vijay became a little disturbed. At that time, Jiva Goswami spoke that Sri Narayan, having let that play out, he got onto the back of Sri Garuda and he told Lakshmi, you should also come. Getting on the back of Garuda. When Garuda starts to flap his wings, what happens? The Vedas start to. So all of a sudden, both the Chatusana 4 Kumara, the Vedas, sounds of the Vedas start to come out. So both the Chatusana and the Jai Vijay, upon hearing that sound, which is all the charit and glorification of Sri Narayan, because this is what if you've been to India, like when they wake up Balaji, if you go to Tirupati, in the early morning you hear them recite what's called Suprabhatam. And it's the morning prayer to wake up Balaji. It is so beautiful. They play it over the loudspeaker. You understand? Then later on through the day, they'll recite Vishnu Sahasranam, somebody Stava Stuti. Anyway, they heard this and, because in Vaikuntha, this is also the mood. You understand? So, they're all stunned just hearing this. So, Sri Narayan then comes on the back of Garuda, and he pulls up. But then he tells Lakshmi, and he himself gets down off the back of Garuda. Normally, this is a very rare thing. Because the Lord normally, whatever he wants to do, he can do from the throne of Garuda. With the accompaniment of all the prayers. But he got down off the back of Garuda. And he began to approach the gatekeepers in the Chatusana. And at that time, the breeze, which is always flowing in Vaikuntha, came across the feet of Sri Narayan. And it caught the fragrance of the tulsi that was placed there. That fragrance went and it entered into the nostrils of the Chatusana 4 Kumaras. At that time, they began to experience Asta Satvik Vikar. And when they began to experience Asta Satvik Vikar, their minds became half in consciousness, half out of consciousness. At that time, the Lord started speaking. Listen, I realized that my two gatekeepers, they have offended you. For me, the Brahmins are the most dear thing. I eat through the Brahmins. The Brahmins are so dear to me that even if one of my limbs offended a Brahmin, I would cut off that limb. So he began speaking and glorifying the Brahmin so heavily. You understand? But when you read these glorifications very closely, he's saying how great the Brahmins are, how this and that the Brahmins are, but the Brahmins are not my gatekeepers. You understand? There are so many Brahmins in the world, but these Brahmins are not like my gatekeepers. You understand? Because the Lord is saying, I'm taking responsibility for them. If you've been offended by them, it's like I've offended you. Could anybody say Bhagavan's offended me? You understand? But then the 4 Kumaras, they actually speak and say, listen, oh my Lord, after the Lord finishes speaking, we could not understand the profound import of your words. Partly because they were in ecstasy, but partly because it was such a deep inner meaning of expression. And here's where we start to pick up what kind of praying Narayan has for these gatekeepers, Jai and Vijay. You understand? What kind of frame he has for them. So he's telling Brahmins, wonderful. Right? But these gatekeepers of mine, they are Kantik Bhaktas. You understand? What kind of love they have for me, what kind of love I have for them. But still, because they've offended you, I will allow this curse to go on. So then the 4 Kumaras, they told, listen, whatever punishment you decide for them, or if you decide to take away the punishment, we're okay with that. If you want to punish us, it is also okay. The Lord said, no, no. Why is this? because there was something Chatusana was not privy to. You understand? Something had nothing to do with Chatusana. Every single day, the Lord would lay in his Vaikuntha on his throne. And he would think, listen. He would think, listen, my power is so glorified all over the world. Everyone knows how powerful I am. But in this Vaikuntha, no one has ever seen my power, because how will it be displayed? Only by their natural bhav they realize my Sadhaishwarya. But have they ever seen my power on display? If I want to lift up anything, immediately 10,000 servants will come, Bhagavan. Understand? If I want to stretch even, somebody will come and start to massage. You understand? So where have they seen my power ever? At the same time, Jai and Vijaya having one Harikatha session at the gate. Haribol Guruji, please.
Can you do it outside? Can you take the table outside and do it out there?
It's okay. So they're also having one discussion. Prabhu, every day we stand here and we have the opportunity to guard the gates of Vaikuntha. But our Prabhu is so powerful. What need we have to protect him? Yes, he is so powerful. Have you ever seen? No, I've not seen. Well, I've not seen either. But we know. We know how powerful he is. Then they started speculating. Not speculating, but they started speaking. How wonderful it would be, even one time, to see the power of my Prabhu. You understand? Even one time, to see the power of my Prabhu. Oh, such a wonderful thing. So the Lord took note of this in his heart. At the same time, he also wanted to taste Veera Rasa. 12 kinds of rasas, among them, one rasa is called Veera Rasa. In the Krishna Sandhava Jiva Goswami is quoted, Jaya Vijay Sonakari Uttarakhande Veera Rasa So Bhakti Vinodaya. That actually on the pretense of a curse, Sap Vyajema. Vyajema means a pretense. Sap, one curse was given by these 4 Kumaras so that foundation of that pillar. You understand? So anyways, in this way, Hiranyakasipu began to decorate, he began to enjoy Swarga and so many things. At that time also his wife told, listen, this is an excellent time for conception. We should, this time, use to make our children. So Hiranyakasipu, he was agreeable, so he went to make children, but then Kayadu asked the question, listen, please tell me though, what happened when you went to perform your tapasya? He said, no, I don't want to talk about it. He said, oh, my husband, especially in a time of intimacy, what secrets are not there between husband and wife? So then, he was thinking about it. He said, okay, listen. At the time I sat down to do my tapasya, I was sitting properly, everything was ready. I began to chant the mantras, and all of a sudden from someplace came, Om Namo Narayanaya Namah. And I kept looking, I could not find the source of that. So this way my whole tapasya was spoiled. But perhaps it was because I was disobedient to Gurudev, etc., etc. So then, Kayadu, she started to think about it. Prabhu, what is Om Namo Narayanaya? Oh, he is our enemy. This is our enemy. He became more and more excited. Oh. But who would have recited Om Namo Narayanaya Namah? So by the time they came for union, then in his mind all he's thinking is Om Namo Narayanaya Namah, Om Namo Narayanaya Namah. Understand? At that time, the effect of that was it produced Sri Prahalad. You understand? Then, afterwards, Hiranyakasipu began to think, how is it possible that I'm living very luxuriously, very comfortably, and my only brother has been killed by our enemy? How can I live like this? Very peacefully in his palace, with children, with wife, with servants, but I'm living peacefully. Then Shukracharya gave, now's good time to perform the tapasya. So then he went and he began to perform such heavy austerities. At one point, anthills, stones, everything covered his body, and fire began to come from his head. The smoke from that fire was choking the heavenly planets. All demigods went to Lord Vishnu, headed by Brahma. Oh my Lord, all the demigods have been subdued. Only Brahma, Lord Vishnu, and Shiva have become exempt from the tyranny of this Hiranyakasipu. He stopped all yajnas. We're also homeless. We're shacking up in one hotel nearby Swarga. So they were all disturbed, everything. You understand? So the Lord Vishnu, don't worry. I'm going to kill him. At the time that he will disturb my Bhakta Prahlad, I will kill. But that will be for some time. Right? When Hiranyakasipu left to perform austerities, the demigods also thought, we should make a plan. I think this is before they went to Lord Vishnu, so am I correct? Yeah. Before they went to Lord Vishnu. They kidnapped Kayadu. And they were on their way, and they thought if we kill the child in the womb, or children in the womb, then the dynasty of this demon, at least when he dies, there won't be a dynasty to follow him. You understand? Of other demoniac children who've also been trained like this. Right? So Narada Muni came there at that time. He told, listen, first of all, the child in the womb of this woman is a pure Vaishnava. And therefore you have no ability to kill it. More than that, I am going to take charge of this child, of this woman, and all of you should go. So that time all the demigods, they scurried everywhere. And Narada Rishi took her back to his ashram. At that time, Narada Muni began to give Harikatha every single day. Kayadu at some places, Kayadu would nod, she would fall asleep, etc., etc. So then the question became, how is it that if Kayadu, in a conscious state, was falling asleep sometimes while hearing the Harikatha, how is it possible that Prahlad heard everything? This comes in the verse in the 3rd canto Srimad Bhagavatam. Satam prasanga mamaveya samvido bhavanti rit karina rasanayakata. It says that the crumb of the appearance of true Harikatha in prasanga is not that the Harikatha goes into your ear and into your mind, and then you process it and everything else, and then you think about it. Yeah, this is very nice. It sounded good. Can you repeat what verse was that, Prabhu? Right? So this is not the hearing Harikatha. Harikatha, Bhavanti, it takes its appearance writ in the heart. The revelation that comes in the heart and the experience that comes in the heart manifests that the words on the ears become pleasing. You understand? It's not the opposite way around. You don't hear Harikatha here. You don't take darshan of Bhagavan here. You understand? Tvam Bhakti Yoga Paribhavita Tvam Bhakti Yoga Paribhavita Read Tirojam. It'll say, Shruta Ikshita Pad. You take Darshan of Bhagavan Shruta Ikshita by hearing, and by hearing you see Darshan. You understand? It means that the Lord manifests within the heart by your hearing. That's the darshan. So the darshan won't come. You're not going to see Krishna in Publix when, oh, it's happened finally. I knew it was coming. And I heard the bells. I thought it was just them ringing things up, but no, it was Krishna. So it won't be that kind of experience. Actually, the darshan will come from hearing Harikatha in prasanga. Prasanga means that the hearer is qualified and the speaker is qualified. It creates prasanga. Then Mama Virya, the Shakti of Bhagavan, Swarup Shakti, enters the heart and it reveals. And when it gives birth there, it becomes very pleasing then to the ears. Understand? So Prahlad, this is how he was hearing. You understand? So everything was coming in the heart of Prahlad. When he teaches his school friends, he's going to say that. I heard everything from my Gurudev at that time. So when Hiranyakasipu finally got the darshan of Sri Brahmaji, and he told at that time, oh, listen, you perform such severe austerities, right? What boon do you request? He immediately said, I want to be immortal. Because if I'm immortal, then I have no problems. Nothing can ever happen to me. So then Brahmaji told him, listen, I'm not even immortal, and I cannot give you what I have. If you want to borrow $100 and I have $10 in my pocket, how is possible? So he told, listen, I'm not even immortal. But then the austerities of Hiranyakasipu had sharpened also his intelligence. So he began to think of every single possibility of how his death could occur. So he told him, listen, I don't want to be killed in the daytime. Tatashtu. Not at night. Okay, Tatashtu. Not inside. Tatashtu, man. Right? Now, I don't want to kill inside. I don't want to kill outside. I don't want to kill about any man or any beast. In fact, anything created by you. You understand? This is going on the whole list. You know, I don't want to be killed in the sky. I don't want to be killed on the... So he went through every possibility to try to protect his life. Do we not do the same? Do we have some Hiranyakasipu with us? Just checking. You understand? So he went through every possibility. Except now it's just artificialized. So everybody goes to the doctor and the doctor says, well, I can give you this, this, and this, and this, and this. You understand? Now, it also may kill you. You understand? Just like you see advertisement, it'll say, do you have tingling leg syndrome? Do your legs tingle? And everybody will say, yeah, my legs don't tingle. Right? Well, take leg tingle free. Right? And then they say, but it may cause you to be depressed, have anxiety, have headaches, and it may also kill you. Right? So my legs won't be tingling anymore, but I may be suicidal, crazy. But because we have such attachment, on the other night on our phone conference I was mentioning, really, one devotee friend of ours has passed away recently. Also, we should also offer a blessing for Sri Taman Krishna Prabhu. He passed away recently in New York. I've known him for many, many years. Since 1972, actually, when I first started going to temple, everything. So, but anyway, it was just a discussion about death in general. And some devotees were saying it's very, very sad. So we should think, by Sangha, some sadness should come. But we should not think death is sad. So that was the next arrangement. They invited him. They all sat around the table. And in Hiranyakasipu, he smiled at Prahlad. Oh, Prahlad, we've cooked very specially for you. All of your favorite dishes. So they made sure they brought out every single thing that Prahlad liked. All of his favorite dishes. And they put the most virulent poison in each of them, in case he didn't eat one of them, or in case he became full. So they put poison in all the dishes. Is that locked? No. That time, Prahlad Maharaj, before he began to eat, he folded his hands and he made offering to Bhagavan. So everything became Mahaprasad. Because did Hiranyakasipu offer his food? We don't think so. He didn't even keep a separate bogle fridge and a separate... No, we didn't do it. So anyways, Prahlad offered everything, and Prahlad Maharaj began to take. And each thing he took more and more. Then he would take something else. And Prahlad Maharaj ate everything. Then he burped. Then he began to say, oh, glories to his Guru Dev. Oh, glories to Mahaprasad. And then he said, oh, Father, can I be excused? So they're all sitting at the table stunned. And they're waiting because they want to see that he's going to drop dead. Right? But he says, he's looking around. Yes, you can be excused. Thank you, Father. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. So I said, what should we do now? What should we do? We've given the most virulent poison. He has some kind of special power. I don't know what it is. I will find out. I said, listen, don't worry. We'll take him far away and we'll throw him off one cliff. So then they took Prahlad, they took him very far away. And there was one mountain and it went straight down to the ocean. So it describes that they took Prahlad and he was just chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna. And they tossed him off the cliff. And they could hear Hare Krishna, 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 all the way down. So then, there's one commentary in South India. It says as Prahlad was going down to the ocean, he remembered the beauty of the building of the bridge by the monkeys to Lanka. And he thought, how beautiful is Lord Ram and the savor that was done by these monkeys. So he became absorbed in Ram Lila. So he was falling more and more. And then suddenly, someone caught him. And they brought him back up and put him back up on the mountain. He was still absorbed. Then he thought, how beautiful is the pastime of my Lord. Who was his Ishtadev?
Lord Narayan?
Vasudeva Krishna, actually. Because Gurudev says Krishna was his Ishtadev. But because he had knowledge of the Aishwarya Gyan of Krishna, we have to assert it as Vasudeva Krishna. Yeah? Because when he recites his prayers, he's going to say, oh my Lord, Nija Labha Purnana. That you are self-satisfied, that you are fully competent. No, you don't need any service from anyone. In fact, you allow others to serve you. So no Brijabasi can pray like that. Nobody who understands Braj Krishna. Understand? So he walks back into the assembly, and all of the soldiers there, yes, we've carried out the mission. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. They see him walking by, and everybody's looking. So this time, Hiranyakasipu becomes, I'm contracting this story actually. But Hiranyakasipu becomes full of anxiety. So then, he has a special visitor. It's his sister. Her name is? Holika. I said, oh my brother, why are you feeling such anxiety? You know I was given a very special boon. I have a very magical cloak. And in this cloak, if I put it around, I can make fire come from my body and I will not be burned. But who's ever with me will be burned. So I said, can you arrange? Oh yes, no problem. So she called, oh my dear nephew, please come. So Prahlad came, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. She put Prahlad on her lap, and then she wrapped her cloak around, and immediately fire burst out. And you could hear the sound of the fire crackling and everything. So all the demons are looking like this, big eyes, right? And because they can't get good position, some are fighting to get good position to see. Understand? And they hear the fire crackling, and then suddenly they start to hear, oh, it's working. And then they say, and then they realize it's Holika screaming. Understand? So the cloak was supposed to never burn her. But actually in the history it's mentioned, when she was given that cloak, it mentioned, if you will ever offend a great person, the opposite will happen. But she thought, we're in a family of demons. You understand? We just have a disobedient demon here. You understand? So then Holika was burnt up that time, and Hiranyakasipu became devastated. You understand? So he didn't know what to do. So Samana Maka said, listen, let us take Prahlad again. Do not become morose. Our Father's coming in a few days. Our Father, by his influence, Prahlad certainly will change. So then, at that time, Prahlad, again I'm trying to track everything, Prahlad began to teach his schoolmates. You understand? And he teaches them beginning with the verse Kumara, Chara, Dharma, Pragvataniha, with this verse. And that you should take up spiritual life right from the very beginning. You should not wait. Then he describes, for our life it's only 100 years. What age did this take place in? Such a youth. So actually lifespan was very long. Why does he say 100 years? Because in the material world, time is relative. So even if you're living for thousands and thousands of years, pretty much it's like a 100-year lifespan, because time is relative. So he said we've only lived for 100 years, 50 of those years are spent sleeping, then 10 years have been playing, some years, 10 years spent in education, 20 years trying to work, 10 years left, your body's old and feeble and so forth, so on. So you should take up spiritual life immediately, because the human body is so valuable. And also, for sense gratification, you can get that at any time. He said, just like you don't ask for misery, then savatra dayavat labda. Then your enjoyment, just like it's destined to happen, just like you don't ask, misery will also come. Then he told, listen, if you will chant the holy names, you'll also find great happiness. So he formed them into a kirtan party. Of course, they asked, well, where did you learn all these things from? Something in Marka, that's not in our curriculum. We don't have any books with any of this in it. So he told the history of how he heard from his Gurudev, so forth, so on. Long story short, then he's brought back to Hiranyakasipu. And then Hiranyakasipu again tries to kill him. Finally, Hiranyakasipu tells, listen, where are you getting this power from? Tell me, what power is in you? So first he thinks the power is in Prahlad himself. And then Prahlad says, no, Father, I'm getting my power from the same place you're getting your power. Everyone's power comes from the same place, from Bhagavan. Then he asks the question, well, where is Bhagavan? If he's so powerful, why is he hiding? You understand? He says, no, Father. Bhagavan is everywhere. You just have to be able to see him. Sarvabhutam Yapa said, Bhagavan Bhavam Atmana. This is the nature of the vision of high-class Vaishnavas. They can see Bhagavan is everywhere. Verse in Chaitanya Charitamrita, what is it? Stavra Jangama Deke Na Deke Taramoti. Savatra Ishtadeva Swati. Everywhere they see Bhagavan. So, because Hiranyakasipu knew, he oversaw the building of that pillar. You understand? He said, is he in this pillar? Because he was waiting, because Prahlad says yes. He says, oh, I know you're lying now. You understand? Says he in this pillar? Prahlad says, Father, he's everywhere. At that point, Hiranyakasipu got down off his throne with his sword in his hand. Other sastras say with a mace, and he smashed the pillar. As soon as he smashed the pillar, what was the first thing he heard? He heard the sound, but he couldn't see anything. So then effulgence came from that pillar. And then as the pillar split open, it mentions, Adrishyata Atti Adbhuta Rupamavaham. He saw a form that no one had ever seen before, including Prahlad. So now a question rises. Listen, if Nrsingah Dev is eternal, how they never seen that form before? How they never saw that form before?
It's a special form.
But if Nrsingah Dev is eternal, how can they say this? Also, when they were saying different prayers, after he killed Hiranyakasipu, they're saying different prayers in different hierarchical order. The lower demigods like Kinaras, Vijayaras, Gandharvas, they all say prayers. Then finally Brahma says prayers. And then when they want to approach him, they also ask, first you go. No, I ain't going. You go, I'm not going. You go, I'm not going. So finally they asked Lakshmi, this is your husband. She said, listen, Adrisva Ashruta Purvata. I've never seen or heard this person. No Bayo Yeka Samkita. Therefore I have any doubts about going near him.
Just, in terms of how it could have never been seen before, even though it exists in the spiritual world. There are some things that exist in conception in the spiritual world, but only manifest in a physical form in the material world, like the gopis' husbands don't physically exist there. So,
but Nrsingah has a Vaikuntha planet.
But does he show the rage in the Vaikuntha planet?
No, there's 9 different forms of Nrsingah. There's Ugra Nrsingah, Lakshmi Nrsingah, Prahlad Nrsingah, Sudarshan Chakra. There's so many forms of Nrsingah.
So even the raging Nrsingah is there in Vaikuntha as well.
Ugra Nrsingah is one manifestation. But the point being that Leela Shakti made this arrangement. You understand? Leela Shakti made the arrangement. Like the gopis, they look at Krishna and every time they see Krishna is different. This is called Anurag. Understand? But not here. It's not called that way. Here, this is the Lila Shakti, making the Adbhut Lila. You understand? So, when they saw it, so then Hiranyakasipu became doubtful. Then he thought. and the demigods of word. It's becoming night. So many things which created the taste of Viras were fulfilled in that fight with the Hiranyakasipu, who's Jai. It's not also every single kalpa that Jai and Vijay come here. Sometimes they're just regular demons. That Jai and Vijay who descended here, Adi Shira Swami, comments in Bhavarta Deepika, like the original comment in Bhagavatam, original stay in Vaikuntha expansions come to this world. In that Leela. That Jai and Vijay are the ones who become Jagai and Madai in Gaur Leela. Because everything ends in Gaur Leela. It's another point that proves it's a Prem Leela. After Nrsingah Dev kills all the soldiers, kills everybody, where does he go?
No.
To Nrsingah Pali.
Oh, yes.
Right? The most long walk in the world. Yeah? And in my Utsamai, the first time I went, I tried to do that barefooted. Oh man, yeah, no. So, and then that's Devapali. So all the demigods, all they're praying to Nrsingah Dev at Navadvip. You understand? That's the glory of that Leela. Is Prahlad there in Navadvip?
Yes.
Where? Haridas Thakur. You understand? So Prahlad is also there. Hiranyakasipu and Hiranyaksha, they're there. No, but Jai and Vijay are. Right? Jagai and Madai. You understand? Because the Lord told, what is this verse? Premnaiva Goparamnam Kamamiti Agamat Pratam Udava Adayo Pietan Vajanti Bhagavat Priya. All the dear devotees from all the previous incarnations headed by Uddhava, they will come into this Gaur Leela and will taste the intensity of Braj Prem in the Odorja Leela of Mahaprabhu. So all those devotees tasted the intensity of the Ras Leela in the Kirtan Ras Leela and Srivasangam. Understand? So this whole Leela is Prem Leela. What it look like. Jai Hari Bol, time for Abhishek.
You already sing Dasha Vitar or Deva Hare.
Three of us. No! You walk back. Yeah, no water. You walk all the way down. No water. And I walk out of every time. That's not my work.
Yeah, the temple one is broken, so I'm just doing it.
Namaste Radha